Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Mike Baker here, Green Check. This is a story about a realtor who I believe before they got on the phone with me, they probably said something to the effect of, "I'll handle this, leave it to me," right? Some very gallant BS. They got on the phone very angry, very mean, essentially trying to bully me into changing some inspection results so that they could close this deal. The home inspector found water damage, recommended a mold inspection. I went in as quickly as I could. I think I got there next day and gave them a report within a few hours. Substantial damage that hadn't been handled, water damage that had turned to a good amount of mold, and some testing that showed it was not icky stuff going on throughout the entire condo. It's a two-bedroom condo. Right, so the realtor called and essentially just began the process of bullying that has most likely worked for them, right? Why else would they do this if it hadn't worked for them? So, what does that mean? I think it means two things. I think one is that there's a body of assumption in the real estate world that you can do this, right? That you can get on the phone with inspectors, bully them into changing results, into softening the blow, into kind of softening out the corners and trying to make an inspection look better than it is. And the second thing is that there are inspectors, maybe the majority, who are willing to do that. That's kind of scary, right? So, for me, the pressure was cute. I mean, this realtor was just cute to me. It was bordering on pathetic, but it was more childish than pathetic, right? It was starting to cross the line into pathetic after I told them they were a beep hole a couple times and calm yourself down, this is pathetic, right? They started to kind of soften and come back a little bit to this side. But what's funny is that, I very clearly proved why this is a problem and why it will be standing. That realtor continued to attempt, right? They were sending texts trying to still prove their point. I'm sure they went and had conversations with their clients and with the buyers and, trying to, argue the point. But, the goal of sharing this is to just say to buyers, I believe buyer education is on the upswing. I think buyers are more educated than ever. I think inspectors, both home inspectors, mold inspectors, and structural engineers are more educated than we've ever been. We're all getting better, right? We're all talking together more often, learning from each other more often. I think all of that is on the upswing. And I believe we need to say these things out loud so that we can start to choke that bottleneck a little bit tighter so that the realtors who are not behaving this way will get less referrals and get less sales, because it's pathetic. It's disgusting. If you're not advocating for healthy homes to be exchanged, structurally sound homes to be exchanged, you suck. You shouldn't be in the business, right? And everybody needs to say that out loud. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. It's unethical. It's immoral. And if you're a part of that problem, shut the beep up and go find another career. Go bag groceries at Publix. You suck. You don't belong here, right? So it is funny, because I do believe what happens is, because those real estate agents are louder and whinier and bullier, what ends up happening is that inspectors start thinking that they're wrong and start trying to find ways to justify these homes being exchanged without the proper work being done, or even the proper work being called out, right? It's not on me whether the work gets done. That's between the buyer and the seller. It has nothing to do with me. My job is to call out the right thing. So we need to sort of slowly put the clamp down and make a bottleneck so those people can't get through the process. Don't give them recommendations. Tell them that they're pathetic, and don't allow them to get the next client. Don't recommend them to the next client. I hope everyone has the cojones on all sides of this equation to not make recommendations for those people to get work. All right, let's make sure that great realtors who want great things for the people and are advocating both for the sellers and the buyers to have a fair deal. This is not about buyers getting money off the sellers. This is about buyers and sellers getting a fair deal. Sellers, if you had things that didn't get fixed, they got to get fixed. Buyers, if you're getting a scope of work, it has to be reasonable. It can't be replace everything. It has to be reasonable. This has to meet in the middle so that there's not abuse to either side. And it's not going to happen anytime soon, but I do believe education is on the upswing and we can do it. So I appreciate everybody listening. Green Check, Mike Baker. Have a great day. Bye.